am in Fort Augustus and I'm about to do the walk from along the Great Glen Way into Drumnadrochit. So I've just got the bus from Inverness and I'm just heading, so the canal is just over there, Loch Ness is over there, and I'm going this way. So, very excited about my little walk. The sun is out, but it's meant to rain a little bit tonight, so we'll see what happens tonight. But yes, looking forward to this. Should be good. Oh, well, it's been a steady climb up through this lovely forest. I'm pretty much just zigzagging uphill up this path beside the burn, but I can see light through those trees, which means, fingers crossed, I'm getting near the top. Got my poles, thank gosh, otherwise this backpack will be tipping me forwards too much. But it's just a non-stop up. You get a few respites where you cross the burn and then it's back up again, but it's very quiet, can't hear the road anymore, so that's really good. So that's what I wanted. So I've done the Great Glen Way before, many years ago, with my dad. The high route never existed, so we did the low route because that's the only route there was, and there wasn't much of a view. You hardly saw Loch Ness. You were in the forest like this, where there is no views. So on feedback they created the high route, which takes you way above Loch Ness and above the trees. It means you get a view, but you have to walk up quite a bit. Oh wow, this was worth the effort. So you can see, I can't see, but I can see. So you can see right down towards Fort William now. You can see the loch beyond. You can see the Caledonian Canal. That's Loch Ness over here. And Fort Augustus are those houses that you see down there. It's a bit blubby up there, just blew off. But wow, what a spot. The views just get better and better and better. Towards Inverness. You can see the path sneaking off in the distance. It's lovely up here. It's still stunning. There's amazing views. That house over there, it's like in the middle of nowhere. Fort Augustus behind me. I don't see any rain yet. There's Fort William, so fingers crossed it's staying away for the time being. So one thing I've noticed on the section between Fort Augustus and Invermoriston is there's been plenty of places to get water from wee burns, absolutely nowhere on the high route to pitch a tent. So just in case you're doing this route and you're thinking, oh, I could just stop and pitch my tent up here. It's just not the right, I mean, you can't pitch a tent there. It's impossible. There's been nothing at all on this section between Fort Augustus and Invermoriston to camp. If there is anything, I'll let you know. But so far I've not seen anything. Now this is the one thing that worries me a little bit about the next section, because after Invermoriston I want to camp somewhere, wild camp. Now I think on the low route there is a campsite, but I want to take the high route, but there isn't. If it's like this, I'm stuck. I might end up being near to Drumnadrochit before I end up camping. I'll just have to stop for dinner on the way. I might be hungry by then. Wow. 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 So down there is probably the low path. So I think Invermoriston is down there, sort of that. I think that might be that castle, Invermoriston Castle or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I need to go and stay there one day because I've never been there. I think we've never been there because we've always had the dog. Now we don't have the dog. We might be able to go and stay there. Maybe that could be Bruce's birthday treat next March. But tomorrow, I think there's a path in the distance there. That might be the low route, and the high route, I bet you, it zigzags up there and goes up over that hill. No, that's tonight. That's not tomorrow. That would be tomorrow's walk if I was stopping at Invermoriston for the night, but I'm not. I need to go up that hill first. It's a long way down there. But see, this is the advantage that they've chopped these trees down. We have a view on the high route. It's amazing. There's Loch Ness in all its glory. This is just absolutely lovely. So the Great Glen Way is a pretty well marked route, and as you can see by the path, it's a well-made path, so it's a good underfoot route. The high route is definitely a lot of up and down, but to Fort Augustus it's a fairly accessible route, to be perfectly honest. Definitely if you're on a bike, you've got no excuses but to go from Fort William to Fort Augustus on a bike. That's easy. After Fort Augustus to Inverness, it does get noticeably more hilly. So as expected, no camping spots, but there is Forest Glen Holiday Park, which is literally just on that stretch of road. That's a possibility if they've got camping spaces, but this is Invermoriston, and here is the Invermoriston River, Kitty Bridge. So this is on the A82, so it's pretty busy, this road sometimes, but at the moment it's got a peaceful spell. Look at the old bridge. Ooh. Steps. Old Invermoriston Bridge. So built by Thomas Telford between 1800 and 1819. There we are. And that's the A82 bridge. And the falls of Invermoriston. So the clog shop. If I didn't have to carry it, I might go in there. And so, anyway, Invermoriston, I've got public toilets and a drinking water tap, so I've refueled. Whew. It's steep, but within half a mile I've climbed really quick. So I've come from over there, it's Loch Ness over there, and Invermoriston is down those trees there. Oh. So it's quite nice up here still, but just gotta keep slugging. So bit of a tarmac road out of Invermoriston, and then we'll get off this in a little bit and then back onto the trail. This is a really quiet road. It's also really steep. I thought the road I lived on was really steep, but oh my god, this is really short and steep. At the bottom it's really steep, so word of warning. There's a few places to go fit food in Invermoriston. Don't stuff yourself too much, because immediately you have this climb. There is no gentle walk in. It is literally from Invermoriston, it is straight up a hill. Probably not best done on a full tummy, so just bear that in mind if you stop there for the night and have a full English breakfast in the morning, or full Scottish breakfast actually is what you'll get, or if you stop for lunch and have a massive lunch and then carry on, or if you stop for afternoon tea and cake and have far too much cake, oh, you might struggle up this hill. So I'm on the high route and just about a mile out of Invermoriston. It's the first camping spot I've seen since Fort Augustus. It's sheltered from the wind. If it was really windy, I would be a little bit worried about sleeping here, because these trees aren't too bad. They're a bit smaller, but just back there was a few trees down over the track, and that always worries me. But that would be a good camp spot, and I would say therefore you would need to get your water, fill up your water in Invermoriston at the community centre. There's a tap outside, because otherwise there's no real water up here unless you come back down this hill that I'm coming down now to go to the burn to get some water. But at least if you take it from the tap, you know it's quality water and you don't need to filter it or anything. So that would be my top tip if that was going to be your camping spot. And it's quiet there out of Invermoriston. You're literally, I don't think you're even a mile from Invermoriston, so good option. Welcome to the View Catcher. So it's made from Caledonian pine and local stone, and it's the eye in the sky, and it is quite an amazing view. So you should be able to see some big mountains in the distance. Got dinner. Got noodles with some yummy mini chorizo little things. They're really tasty actually. And a couple of licorice tea. That will just keep me going. So I'm delighted with my little dinner stop. So over there is South Loch Ness, and there's a trail over there called the Trail of the Seven Lochs. So you can see one and another one, and probably more a bit further left, more so. But wow, it's stunning. Those hills look amazing. Loch Ness looks amazing. As the rain is over there, that's what I'm trying to get ahead of. And a big wind farm up there. And I've come from way down there. Now that looks like a perfect camping spot. Someone else has nabbed it. Hiya. There it is, Loch Ness. And South Loch Ness. And Trail of the Seven Lochs. It's a bit exposed up here. If it was going to be a beautiful clear night, that would be the camping spot. Aha. So I've met the low route. So the low route is that way. High route that way. 7 miles to Drumnadrochit. That's all I've got to do. 7 miles. 7 miles to Drum. So yeah, could camp here. It's a bit open and exposed, but we'll find somewhere a bit in the trees a bit further on, I'm sure. I found my camp spot tonight. Loch Ness is just down over there. My camp spot is there. The tent's really badly pitched, and that's because the ground is rock hard and I can't get the stones in. Can't get the pegs in, so I've had to wedge some of them with stones. So it's a bit of a dodgy put together tonight, but hopefully it stays calm like it is right now. It's not going to be windy and it'll be fine. Good morning. It's not raining. Yay. I'm all packed up. That's where I parked my tent last night. We're on our way. The sun is out. Forecast was wrong yet again. Woohoo! There's the loch, and because the forestry have cut all those trees down, we've got a snippet of a view. Because most of today's walk until we reach near Drumnadrochit is all in the woods. And here we go back into the woods. Wow, it is lovely, really lovely. And the woods are lovely as well, it's very peaceful. There's a few gates on this section. I've seen one, maybe two potential camping spots since I camped last night, but not really many. So this is the new bit of trail, and if you're desperate for coffee and a stop, that little hut there is a wee coffee shop. Coffee, cold drinks, ice cream, snacks. I'm not ready to stop yet. But, so recently this has just been finished, this trail, and this is because they were trying to get people off the road, and I remember walking along that section just on the road. It was awful. It's not a busy road, but it's just like being on the road is like really hard. But at least now you can stop for coffee if you really wanted to, which is a really good idea. Lodges, you can get a lodge there if you want to stay the night. What they need to do is camping. If you're watching this, you owners of that business, get some camping up. I would have walked to there last night and camped, and possibly paid for a camping spot instead of wild camping. Because camping in Drumnadrochit, you're right by the main road, and I don't do noise because I live in a place that's like this. Nothing around apart from the odd house. No road or anything, because we're beyond the public road. So for me, no noise is high on my priority list, which is why wild camping suits me. It's a nice house up there. I don't have much of a view. I can see Drumnadrochit. Drumnadrochit down there. So the big white building over there, that's Glenurquhart High School, which is the school that all the kids from way up Glenurquhart and up towards Tomech, Cannock will come to this particular school. And of course everyone who lives in Drumnadrochit. So that's way up the glen towards Glenafric. If you keep going that way, that'll take you to Glenafric, basically. Not quite in that glen is the next one over, but that does go that way. And the African Tail Trail, those trees straight ahead, through those trees, and then up that glen, that's the start of the African Tailway that goes to Morvech on the west coast of Scotland, through really stunning scenery. I've walked a little bit of the route, but that's on another day of my tick list. But yeah. a rural community, Drumnadrochit, but very touristy, because everyone goes to Drumnadrochit, to Loch Ness, to see the Loch Ness Monster. You can't really see the loch from Drumnadrochit. Which is the weird thing. But you can get to the loch from Drumnadrochit on foot. You might have to get wet feet as you cross the river, that's the only thing. There we are, so heading down the hill. So this is all part of the new path, which is much better, gets you off the road. It feels like you're in the wilderness more. So it's really, really quite a nice path. So well done, Highland Council and Great Glen Way Rangers. You did a good job. Apart from the forestry, I've messed up one tiny section of your new bit as they're getting the logs out of the forest from felling. They've messed up the path a little bit, but I've got a photo of it and I'll send it to you so you can get in touch with them and get them to fix it, because it's a bit of a trip hazard trying to get across it. But there we are. That's the well, there's two museums in Loch Ness for the Loch Ness exhibition. So there's one there and one over there, so that's something to do. And where that blue lorry is, if you can see it in the distance, they're the Highland Cow experience, and also a tea room, so you can go there and see the fluffy cows if you like that kind of thing. I do. And yeah, up there is a place called Divach Falls, which is a sort of a waterfally bit. It might be alright on a day like today. We have had some rain in the last week. But anyway, so Drumnadrochit. I made it to Drumnadrochit. Da da da. So that didn't take me too long, so that was really good. Just a couple of hours from my camp spot, and here I am. Road's busy, so I'm going to go for, what time is it now? It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'm probably going to change my bus time and get an earlier bus, and then get something to eat, need some coffee, and then carry on with my day, which is no more walking. I've finished today.